With autumn nearly here and this summer drawing to a close, now's the perfect time to do some maintenance tasks on your lawn. In this video, I'm going to cover 7 simple lawn care tips that you can do in autumn to get the most out of your lawn. The first tip is about mowing. We get asked a lot, is it okay to mow your lawn in September and over the summer period? And the answer is clearly yes. Mowing your lawn on a regular basis is going to make a massive difference to the results that you can achieve. One of the biggest mistakes that people who don't look after their lawn make is leaving the grass to grow really long and then cutting it right the way down to the base, known as scalping. Regular mowing is a much better practice, and that's going to help you keep it nice and green all throughout the year, and it's probably the biggest thing that you can do to improve the quality of your lawn. If you're wondering what height to mow at, I would suggest to make sure that you choose a height that you can personally maintain. If you want to cut your grass really short, that means you're going to need to mow it a couple of times a week in the busy growing seasons, or you can opt for a slightly longer cut, but the key is consistency and regular maintenance. Anywhere between 30mm and 50mm would be a typical range to get a nice quality lawn that isn't too long, but it's also easily maintainable. Cutting too much off the grass in one mowing can make your lawn prone to drought and weeds. A rule of thumb is to take no more than 1/3 of the grass blade off in a single cut. Whilst that isn't a hard and fast or scientific rule, it's a good principle to think about, making sure that you don't cut too much off your grass in one mowing. Tip number 2, fertilize your lawn. Fertilizing the lawn in autumn is a great way to help replenish some of the nutrients that the lawn needs when it's going into its active phase. You've probably already fed your lawn in the spring, and quite a good chance that that fertilizer will have been used up through the spring season in the summer and then need topping up into the autumn. Autumn fertilizers are slightly different to what you might find in spring, as the lawn doesn't quite need as much nitrogen. You should be looking really for a controlled release fertilizer that is going to last a long time but also deliver some quick results. Our autumn feed is a 10-5-10, and it's a mix between quick release granules that get to work right away, whereas some coated granules that continue to release the feed up to 90 days. So it's a great time to apply a treatment like that to your lawn, and that's going to see you right through the autumn period. This fertilizer also contains nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, as well as magnesium, which are really the key essential nutrients that grass needs to grow at this time of year. Combining this feed with your lawn is going to help improve the greenness and thickness of the lawn, but it's also going to help protect against some diseases which are really prevalent at this time of year with the warm weather and the moisture. So having a healthy lawn is going to help protect against diseases. The third tip is around seeding your lawn. Now, if you're looking to create a new lawn from scratch, or even thicken up your existing lawn, maybe the kids have been playing on it over the summer, or generally it's just taken a bit of a beating, September is an ideal time to seed the lawn or overseed the lawn with grass seed. In terms of the steps to do that, for existing lawns, generally we cut the lawn first, and you want to remove any thatch or debris, dogweed burns or marks that are in the lawn. Try to rake as much of those out, so when you put the new grass seed down, it can get a really clear contact with the soil. That's what's important, that grass needs to be in contact with the soil, and that's going to help its germination. If you're looking to overseed your lawn, you can find the right grass seed for your lawn type at gardenlawncareguide.com. We've got a full range from shaded mix to those specialising in clay soils. I'm not going to get into too much detail around picking the right grass seed for your lawn in this video, but if you want to find out more information, you can head over to our website, and I've left a link down below. Tip 4. When should I scarify or aerate the lawn? September is also a great time of year to consider some scarification or aeration of the lawn. Now, if you're planning to do any moss removal or seeding, it's important to scarify the lawn first. The process of scarifying is basically like raking the lawn. You're using a machine to strip out thatch and debris that's sitting on the soil layer, and this thatch can block out nutrients and water from getting into that soil profile. What you'll probably find is if you've got a heavy layer of thatch, your fertilizers won't be performing very well. Your grass might be struggling to grow, even if you're applying fertilizer, and it just generally will be choking out the lawn and you won't be getting the results that you're expecting. By running the scarifier through it in both directions, you're going to remove some of that thatch and debris. It's going to open out the sward and you're going to allow nutrients and water down into the soil profile. Tip 5. What is the best way to remove moss from a lawn? Now, quite often moss is going to grow in damp and shaded conditions. You don't tend to get moss at this time of year in the summer because things are generally quite dry. But what we've seen with all the rain is that there are some lawns still getting moss at this time of year. And if you are going to do any lawn improvement work, you do need to be removing that moss from your lawn to get yourself a good springboard to either apply your lawn fertilizer or your grass seed from. In order to remove moss from the lawn, I suggest to scarify or rake it first. This is going to help weaken the plant, and then you can consider applying an iron sulfate treatment, which can turn the moss black by dehydrating it, ready for another scarification. So if you've got moss in your lawn, now is a good time to remove it now, and do that before you apply any lawn fertilizer and do it before you apply any grass seed. And it's really the first step to any lawn renovation project. Get rid of the moss and get rid of the sprayer, get the dissolvable powder, mix it with water, and you can get the same results and effect. And the last tip, how do you get rid of weeds in your lawn? This is probably the most asked question that we get. And in general, there's two main types of what I would call weeds. You either have grassy weeds, which are weeds that look like grasses. Maybe they produce seed heads and they're typically lighter in colour. For those type of weeds, there isn't too much you can do in terms of selective herbicides in the UK, especially for domestic users. Really, if you've got weeds like Poa annua or Yorkshire fog or other types of meadow grasses in your lawn, the only way to get rid of them really is going to be to spray them off with a total weed killer or completely dig them out and reseed those areas. September is an ideal time to do that, and you do need to be on the forward front for those grasses because you cannot bury your head in the sand and hope they'll go away. They're going to spread throughout your lawn, and if you can, try to get on top of them and get them removed from your lawn. The other types of weeds are broadleaf weeds, and these are things like dandelions, plantain, clover, and all of these weeds are really going to spring to life in the autumn. And the way to control those weeds is with a selective weed treatment. And what I mean by selective weed treatment is a treatment that kills the weeds, but it doesn't kill the grass. Some of the most popular options in the UK are Weedol for lawns or Resolver for lawns. And September is an ideal time to get on the front foot and start controlling your weeds while they're actively growing. So they're crucial tips for autumn lawn care. Keep on top of your mowing, feed your lawn with a good quality autumn feed, be on the offensive on the weeds, and if you need to, scarify and aerate the lawn. Let me know if you think of any tips that I've missed down in the comments below, and if you've liked this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's Matt the Garden Lawn Care Guy, and I'll see you in the next video.